I'll tell you what, I did not have tearing up in a Godzilla movie on my 2023 movie bingo card. So I'll just leave it ready for when April comes around. For the last time in 2023, my friends, my name is Ren, and this is my review of Godzilla Minus One. Welcome back, film family. Thank you for joining me for the final movie review of 2023. And what a banger to go out on, as in post-war Japan, the people are tested at their lowest point as a nation when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster, baptized in the horrific power of the atomic bomb. It would be disingenuous of me to start this review without sharing I've never been the biggest Godzilla fan. I love the idea of Godzilla much more than I like any of his individual movies, be it any of the American versions or the Toho classics, which now span over 38 movies throughout its 70-year history. But I've always appreciated the thematic nature of the Toho films, where they strive for something more, something deeper, and something grounded in reality. I love the idea of Godzilla being terrifying, and Godzilla Minus One makes Godzilla terrifying. I cannot tell you how many shivers went up and down my spine throughout the Godzilla attack sequences. Even in moments where I had to remind myself, oh, Godzilla is kind of small. No, he isn't. It's just that the MonsterVerse movies have made it like 100 meters tall and have basically put him on steroids. That smaller scale for Godzilla made him nevertheless absolutely frightening, to the point where I was fearing for the people he was stepping on. That is the best thing Godzilla Minus One does as a movie. It's all at once a nostalgic throwback to the classic Toho Godzilla movies, while also evoking a radical reinvention of its entire legacy. Godzilla as a metaphor for the destruction, the trauma of war, is not a new concept, but it is one that Godzilla Minus One pulls off with effectiveness while adding a new layer in the form of scathing commentary towards the government's treatment of the people of Japan during and post World War II, effectively making this film a period piece where the government fails to take action to protect its people and instead uses them. It is the same exact philosophy the Japanese government had when attacking Pearl Harbor and attacking their international enemies. And because of that, it makes Godzilla a terrifying monster in more than literal ways. As a metaphor, Godzilla has never been more eloquently handled in its exploration of war, guilt, trauma, and destruction on a spiritual, literal, and cultural level, which is why it's so easy to get invested in each individual relationship in this film. From Shikishima, a failed kamikaze pilot who lives his days post-war seeking redemption even after providing shelter, food, and an overall living to an orphan child and her surrogate mother for years. This is a life he does not see himself worthy of, but he finds these kindred spirits and seeks this solace through destroying mines left in the ocean with other people also traumatized by the war. And so it's a film about a collective culture coming together to overcome their trauma, but you get to explore these traumas in each individual way. You get to see how everyone reacts, how everyone deals with their grief and their guilt. And because of this, the build up to each Godzilla sequence becomes all the more powerful and more impactful when Godzilla does attack. Godzilla in this film isn't even referred to as a he or a she, it's an it. It's a powerful force of nature just wreaking destruction, much like the war that ravaged through Japan, destroyed their people, their country, making this a resounding achievement both in large scale and intimate feel. It is one emotionally devastating disaster film with excellent character development, thunderous set pieces, and impressive effects when you take into account the film only cost $15 million. Again, even as someone who is not the biggest Godzilla fan, I can't really imagine a Godzilla movie being better than this. Even though I do have my gripes with the film, I think the pacing lulls consistently throughout as we build to each Godzilla sequence, and those sequences do pay off, and I'm emotionally invested. But the pacing is just not precisely there, as the film just veers into few stretches of melodrama. There's one plot point in particular I do not think it is quite earned by the end of the film without getting into spoilers. And this is very minimal, but I am not the biggest fan of this overall Godzilla design where he just feels very static, where his arms are big, they're thick, and you see it moving every now and then, but overall Godzilla just walks like this. It is a much better movie than any Godzilla movie America has put out, Monsterverse or not. It's just that the design overall is not my favorite. But that's only my thoughts on Godzilla Minus One. It's time for you to start the conversation about it in the comments below. What is your favorite Godzilla movie? What is your favorite Godzilla design? And what would you add to reinvigorate the Godzilla movies, particularly in the Monsterverse? Because they really need it. Anything and everything down there. If you're enjoying this review, there's many more like it right up here for all of 2023. And if you want to talk more movies and TV with me, this is the place to be. Consider clicking that subscribe button and you won't miss any future conversations on your favorite movies and TV. Godzilla Minus One nuclear blasts new life into the idea of the monster film by delivering an engaging and compelling exploration of human trauma and the human spirit for survival, where the roaring tension elevates the action and the drama in equal measure. I'm giving Godzilla Minus One a B+. Thank you for watching, Film Family. Start the conversation about Godzilla Minus One in the comments below with your favorite Godzilla design. And big shout out to my channel members for always supporting the channel. And I'll be back very soon with all the end of year lists. Till the next one, love each other and love the movies.